Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. This is the weekend update for the week ending Friday, April 24th. All right, we're going to take a look here on the screen. We've got the Dow Industrials. It's the Dow indices, the Dow Industrials, Transports, and Utilities. The industrials were down 221 points on the week and not confirming the S&P. We'll take a look at that in a second. Look at the big reversal that we had on the transports. Had major divergence showing up in here with the close as of the prior week. And then we get this huge negative reversal. And it does make me think, is this sending a message to the other indices in the market? Utilities were down only 3.03. They're not really, this little move up in here is not being confirmed by the RSI either. When we take a look at the indices side by side, here's the industrials, here's the S&P 500, which was up 39 points. Just a little struggle to get a little bit higher here this last week after 3 very strong weeks. Still staying above this level, 7005, I guess is where you call it. Up, let's see, on the NASDAQ composite, up 364 points. So continuation over here on the NASDAQ. But again, the real question, we've got divergence on the weekly on both of these. Are they going to hold above the prior highs? Because if they don't, I think that's going to kind of signal a little bit of selling that's going to most likely kick in. Let's go back over here to the home screen, take a look at the SPX. So up 56.68 on Friday, up 39.02 for the week. So yeah, we've got the continued push, very strong move that we've got. We're overbought on the daily. What I want to take a look at is the SPY now, because this is the one that you trade for the S&P. So it's the same picture, right? Up 549 on Friday, up 380 for the week. So what I'm watching in here, a couple of things. I'll come back to this chart in a second, but I want to go to the LA wave count that I've got in here. And let me just go to the weekly view. And let me look at my notes. Okay. I have moved to this primary count right here that says we are in a third minor wave of a third intermediate wave, and that we're in the third minute wave within that third minor wave up because of the strength of what's happened here with the price action over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I am still holding an alternate count that says there's a very real possibility, which is what I've been thinking for a long time, that intermediate wave 3 ended at the end of October and that we've been in a major sideways corrective pattern that I'm calling a WXY. That's what a classic LE wave combination. But we had a flat, but to have an X wave, you need a 3-wave, X wave. And I really haven't seen that. So I'm still holding it as an alternate count. Could possibly be that this is the A wave of a 3-wave and that there's more to develop over the coming weeks. We'll see. But right now, I think this looks a little more impulsive in terms of possibly a wave 1. And it really doesn't matter in here on either scenario. What am I looking for near term? I'm looking for a pretty strong pullback because we've come very far very fast. And so if we correct back as a wave 2 in here, 50% is 672, all the way back to the top of the gap that occurred on April 8th. So I talked about that. That's a 50% retracement. So when I look at this, what gives me pause about where we are? The bearish divergence on the weekly that I talked about, okay, right in here. As of the close on Friday, I know that this can disappear. If this continues to push higher, yeah, the RSI could go up and go higher and it could go away. But as of the close on Friday, we've got bearish divergence on the weekly scenario. Volume declining on the move up in here. Look at this volume dropping off. This is daily. This is 20-day average volume. That's not a reassuring picture for the bullish move to me. And on a weekly, you could see it drop off. Now, here's the first positive week, right? The week of March 29th. So yeah, the volume, dropped a little lower than, all that selling volume. But then the next positive week, volume was lower. The next week, volume was lower. And this last week, volume is lower. So we've had a significant drop off in volume. When I take a look at the percent of stocks above their 200-day moving average in the S&P 500, it's not confirming the new all-time high, not even close. Very similar to what it did last year into the peak of February of 25, not confirming it. So that's something else that's caught my attention. And then the last thing, there's a lot of different things I'm looking at too. There's a lot of other indicators, but here's 52-week highs. New 52-week highs on the New York Stock Exchange. Not even close, okay, to taking out that prior high. Very similar to what happened last year. We'll see what we get this coming couple of weeks. This next week's going to be a lot of fireworks. We're going to have, 5 out of the 7 Mag 7 reporting. Let me go back to the SPY. 5 out of the 7 Mag 7 reporting. We got a Fed meeting or announcement that's going to be on Wednesday. So yeah, there's going to be some fireworks. So what happened on Friday? Well, Intel reported earnings after the market closed on Thursday, and everybody was like, wow, did you see what they said about their forecast and this huge bullish forecast? So the stock exploded. It was up big on Friday, up 1576, huge volume. Interesting that the volume is very close to the volume that occurred on the drop after the earnings result in January. Had one more day down, then we had a big snapback, tried to fill the big gap. So we're going to get one more day up and then a big snapback to fill the gap. And the opposite, just the reverse. We'll see. It's a lot of FOMO right now, I think, going on. Now, here's the weekly view in Intel, up 1404. So up 1576 on Friday and up 1404 for the week. This is the all-time high from 2000 that it just closed above for the first time since 2000. And you'll see it here when I shrink it down. So this is the weekly view. Now, we have 4 more days of trading in the month, but look at this monthly view. Look at what it's doing for this month. Now, we've had some strong months where we had a 50% move, like right here, the week of September 1st. This is very close to a 100% move in 1 month. I'd say that's getting a little extreme. And we've closed above here. It's going to be interesting to see, do we hold above 75.81, just as, to begin with? Does it close up there on a monthly? Does it stay up here, or does it pull back? Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, so Intel earnings, everybody's going crazy about the semiconductors. Of course, they've been going crazy. Let me see what happened with Intel, the rally that's happened. Well, that's all a part of what's going on with all of the semiconductor stocks. Here's the SOX index. So the SOX index has been up for 18 of 18 days in a row, a new record, 18 days in a row. And it's interesting, as Joe Weisenthal, he's a Bloomberg reporter, and he's on that Bloomberg Odd Lots podcast. He said, it's the closest I've ever seen to a chart going up so fast, it's almost curling backwards. And Peter Atwater up there, he said, forget asymptomatic, whatever that right word is, asymptotic. It's almost curling backwards. Yeah, that's pretty amazing stuff when you look at it. And so then when we take a look at SMH is not 18 of 18, it's actually 17 of 18, but it looks very similar to what Avis Budget Group has done in affecting the transports. Up 19 of 21 days beginning March 23rd and just went ballistic. Okay. Well, that's a little bit of, it's got to give you pause. And it just looks very, very similar. I'm not saying that this is about to happen, but yeah, when you see things start to go straight up, they fall under their own weight. But we'll see what happens here with the semiconductors and some of the individual semiconductor stocks within there. Okay, that's it for this weekend. I'll leave you with that. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that little subscriber button. And if you'd like more of this information on a regular basis, head over to joehenches.net. Check out the website. Check out the membership, joehenches.net. And here's the website. Okay, everyone, have a great weekend and a great week.